What up guys, RE Gold, Chosen Energy. This is day 27 of 2020. Yesterday I was going to make the preach on the video on Kobe Bryant passing. But day 26 was already like pre-recorded, so it was already there, scheduled to post, so I couldn't really do anything about it. So I decided to make today's video on Kobe Bryant, and I made a preach on that as well. If you read my Instagram, it was all on him. It took me like a lot to be able to come in front of camera to actually talk about him, because I was like a really big fan, and right now I'm actually wearing his tracksuit from Nike. It's his with his awesome sign. I'm not sure what that's called, but this guy. Just want to give all and just kind of feel all, you know. And anyways, with that said, without getting teary or anything, which I may actually maybe, because I've been like tearing up every single time that I see a post on Instagram or YouTube or anything else, like everyone talking about him. Just something that we know that he went up to the heavens, but still like he's kind of touched us so much in our life that it's really hard for us to just kind of fathom that he's actually gone, or that kind of a tragic thing that actually happened to him, because he definitely didn't deserve that. He deserved a different kind of, if any, passing. But that's not for me to decide. That's for the higher power. So that said, let's jump on this preach. This preach is going to be a little low vibey, so my apologies. It's just that it's something that I can't really be happy about, because it's a sad day. I mean, Kobe left, so I can't really be cheery, but what I can do is I can bring awareness and to deliver my 2 cents and condolences, and just kind of give him all that I can for what he meant to me, and just kind of like give you guys some awareness of what could have happened as well, kind of like a different story that not the one that we are being told from the news. So I just wanted to kind of like put that out there, and if you guys like to comment, it's fine. This is not like a video about kind of conspiracy theory or anything. It's a video about what I feel, what my intuition is telling me, since I'm very strongly linked to my consciousness, to the collective consciousness. So are you guys, just whoever is watching that agrees. So because I'm so aware and super consciously linked, I receive intel that normally the average person will not. I'm not saying that I'm special, but I'm just very woke. So if you are too as well, you probably agree. And with that said, let's jump on this preach, this video, and let's get to it. Okay, yesterday's speaking in Earth's time, in the now, because it's always in the now. An amazing energy and role model to mankind left our realm and density. That's Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was his birth-given name, but he was an angel from God, aka Source, and there are no other words that can describe him besides the word angel. Moreover, he touched lives of his parents and then the world when he was drafted into professional basketball, as more and more people discovered not only his true talent, but his passion and love for the game. Kobe wasn't just a basketball player, but he was and always will be a monument to those that looked up to him and his drive for life. He's an exemplar of how passion can be turned into work when one loves what they do more than life itself. Furthermore, Kobe gave back so much to the community that there was no question that he was here as a light worker, kind of like me. Not saying that I'm Kobe, but light worker meaning he was here to bring love to the world, you know? That he was here as a light worker to light the pilot light. Pilot light is kind of like when our heaters have a pilot, the little thing that you just literally have to light up for it to work. That's the pilot, like analogy used. As a light worker, to light the pilot light, meaning to light the love in people, in others, to make them aware of the passions that they carried within their heart and soul. So he was here to make us find our own passion, because the last post that I did before this video that you see, it has this big face on it, and it's just like 15 seconds. It's him talking, and the poster is his head. He talks about how when you love what you do, it never, everything that you kind of put into it, it pays off, because it's who you are, you know? And so I can totally like relate, and what he was trying to do is, he was trying to light the spark, like that's what I mean by lighting the pilot light. He's trying to light the spark in each one of us, for us to kind of follow our own passions and to find the light that will forever burn in us, meaning it'll just keep on burning and the fire will always be there. It will never diminish or fade. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to not only play basketball and make us feel like super entertained, but he was also there to kind of give us this push to follow our dreams and make them come into reality, because dreams are just reality that we are dreaming of right now, as we are in a dream as we speak. So that's what he's trying to say. And many people thought he was just a basketball player. He was just a good athlete, but he was more of a higher being that was placed here on this earth to make people, kind of like Jesus Christ, to make people, or like Buddha, or anyone else that you know. I don't know him much, and other people, but he was just here to make people kind of realize what life is really about and not to waste it. And that's literally what his goal was, even though he wasn't directly upfront about it. But in many of his quotes, his keynotes, I mean, whenever he said anything, and even the last post that I did with him talking, that last time that he said, like, goes, "I'm sorry that I'm not here this evening with you guys," like that one. Like he always talked about that, always. It was just beautiful how he was such a caring, compassionate individual that just wanted the world to be happy by following their dreams. That was literally his 2 cents the whole time, and people saw that, I guess, in different way, directly or indirectly, and they totally honored and they totally just kind of he literally sparked like so much light in them that they felt like lit just by his presence on TV or anywhere else. Okay, it was unfortunate that he left us so early, and as much as I wish to believe that the engine in the helicopter was faulty, I was told from my higher being this morning during my meditation that the engine was sabotaged to create failure, just like Paul Walker's Porsche was when he passed away at such a young age. I firmly believe that the next thing that I'm going to say, the next paragraph is, this is something that I believe, and it's my belief, not yours. So if you believe something else, it's fine. I just wanted to give you awareness so you guys can see and feel and make up your own decision, because I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make you guys believe that something was faulty or use some kind of a conspiracy, but I'm trying to make you guys be aware of what if. So if you can ask yourself what if and think about it and kind of resonate with what I'm saying, then it's true, and if not, then that's fine too. Just wanted to put it out there in case some people actually believe in that, because the more we believe things that are happening, we kind of create this awareness collectively, and therefore less people can do dark things like this if we are more aware of what's going on, because they'll be afraid that we are aware of these things and we'll point them out and just kind of crucify them, or put a spotlight on them, or shine a light on their darkness, and just make them just be penalized or punished, and etc., or incarcerated. Okay, I firmly believe that when great pillars such as Kobe, Paul Walker, and many young influencers pass away, it is not their calling to pass, but the call of the shadow government and their superiors, many know as ILLUMAdonkey, which is another name for that, just to be safe, so this thing will not be banned, this post, to create mass dent in world peace by taking out a public figure such as Kobe or Paul Walker, or even buildings like the Twin Towers 9/11, to bring negative energy to the collective consciousness on earth for the unconscious and unaware masses, to create sadness in the world, to lower the vibrations as a whole, and control us for as long as they can until the next event that they plan on the perfect day, like a good movie script directed and produced perfectly, which could have possibly been the case with Kobe Bryant, with the Kobe Bryant chopper, because who's to say that they didn't pick that perfect day to sabotage that? Just on the perfect day when the forecast was telling everyone that it was going to be an overcast. Who's to say that it wasn't planned? It was such a perfectly planned, and it was in such a rural area, not in a public, like in downtown LA per se, or LA Live, just so no one can actually see what's going on, or what, so there's less witnesses, you know? That's what I believe in anyways. But so it looks like, it's kind of like the 9/11 was like a perfectly set up so that you can think that it's actually real. But the whole thing was staged. Like, there's more than enough proof to believe. One may ask, why would they benefit from mass sadness? And the answer is negative energy. Because as many may know, when we feel sad and depressed, which many did from the tragic, shocking, unexpected news about Kobe's passing, then we naturally think sad, and we feel mad, we feel negative, pessimistic, and hopeless, which creates violence and low negative vibrations, which is the primary fuel of the dark energies to drive on and take control of the masses as we feel at our lowest. That's literally how they survive. As you probably heard of draconians, or the evils, that the reptilians. It's pretty much just this negative entities that are not human, and some of them are actually human too. They're humanoids. They're mixed. They're like hybrids. They want to merge with us. This is a kind of esoteric, and it's different. I'll get into it one day on this channel. But the way they actually drive the negative people, the negative dark energy, is the dark energy. The way it actually raises this dark energy to a higher level and has control over the masses, over Earth, is when bad things happen. Like when wars happen, they really benefit. That's why they create wars. You know, the Iraq war and everything else. And then the 9/11 happened because they wanted people to just feel so miserable and just feel sad, and they gave from that. And then the war happened after that, which was even better for them. And then Paul Walker's dead. So many people mourn. So they want something that happens that is sad, that everyone knows, for people to feel negative or low vibrations. Because when we feel low vibrations, we are not aware, and we don't really care what they do in the background, and they can do so much action. Like, be aware the next few weeks or days, and see some stuff is gonna happen in the background where we didn't even realize that, because this thing was such a big deal that under this news they can actually do a lot of things in the background, which happens a lot. Like during 9/11, they were gonna kind of come out and say why was there like a $2.6 trillion missing from the Federal Reserve, and as they were trying to investigate that, the Building 7 just dropped. As you guys probably saw, the Building 7 was not even linked to the Twin Towers, and that had all the evidence in there. And that literally was the reason that was a big red flag too, that when they want to do some kind of agenda, they need to kind of, almost like, it's I say this, but it's not like a sacrifice. They have to sacrifice like a public figure, and there's no actual limit of how far they will get to conquer this, to kind of execute this order, in order to bring everyone's attention away from them, just so they can do all that they wished in the background, and kind of like putting their roots to control us more in the next year or two, or however long their agenda is going to work in the background. So that's the reason why they do this kind of things, because when we are very sad, we are not conscious of what's going on, and we don't actually care, because we are like collectively sad and depressed. So nothing really outside of those boundaries actually matters for us. So whatever happens right now in the politics, no one cares, because we're all thinking about Kobe, you know, get it? Kind of like that. Why do you think nothing bad or less tragic things such as death happens to bad guys, and more than often it happens to good guys that bring positivity to the world? Because dark forces, aka evil, aka ILLUMAdonkey, that's a safe word for the evil you may know or heard of. These forces have no profit or gain if one of them, evil personnel, which is one of their people, passes or dies, since there will be more cheering and bliss without them than mourning. And that is the reason why positive people that are world-known influencers and icons, such as Kobe, pass or die in tragic make-believe accidents, which I think this was, due to some failure for the evil agenda to emanate long-term negative low vibrations over masses and influence them negatively to emanate negativity in the world from their consciousness to the collective consciousness. And this is the reason why, I mean, why do you think no one that is super evil dies? Like, it's very rarely that we hear like, hey, someone that was a total asshole, like was like the worst, like Hitler kind of zone of worst. Like, why do you think like we don't see Trump dying, or well, like everyone hates him? Because he's good. Like, he's creating so much hate that the dark government is like literally loving it. Why do you think he was even elected when you think about it? Like, because more people hate him than love him, so there's more hate, more negativity, more stress, more drama in the air, in the space, on Earth, in the masses, over the masses, around the masses. So everything is linked to that. So the fact that Kobe died, and then Nipsey died, the rapper, which I didn't know him well, but afterwards I got to know him, R.I.P. Paul Walker died. I knew him since the first movie that he was in, a big fan. And now Kobe, when Kobe was literally, I think it was the ultimate, the card, because Kobe was like literally, I think Kobe was more famous than any of those people that I just mentioned. Even, I think this study is going to be more powerful than the, I don't know, hopefully not, but it's going to be marked more in the history than the 9/11, because he was such a, like, everyone knew him, you know, like no one really knew about the Twin Tower buildings. It was just a very tragic event, but which my condolences go to those families. But I think Kobe's event was a more shocking one, because like, we just knew him as this young kid. We didn't see him like someone that can just like vanish from our lives, you know? That's what I think. But sometimes I'm not saying that the 9/11 wasn't as important. 9/11 was very tragic, and it's an historic event that will never be forgotten, because he was the most powerful, like tragic in the, like mass death in the US history. Like literally is the worst. So, but yeah, things like that happen for the collective to feel negativity, to feel low vibes. I mean, think of the 9/11. It took us like at least 5 years plus. Then the war started. It took almost like a decade to like forget about the 9/11. Not forget about it, but to kind of like just stop feeling sad about it, you know, and actually just kind of put it in the archive. I mean, I don't know, Kobe's thing is probably gonna take at least a few years as well, because we're gonna keep, every single year we're gonna think about him, and that was like kind of a slam dunk for them, for the assholes, for the evil assholes. Yeah. As species, we're heading towards ascension. That's when everything is going to be like out in the open. We're gonna feel more like super high vibes. We are going to think differently. Our consciousness is going to be much more elevated. We're going to think more about from love than from like evil. We're just going to be more in like, we're going to live from the origin of love instead of hate or separation. That's the ascension. So as a species, we are heading towards ascension and waking up spiritually, like I was saying. We're all going to spiritually wake up as we go to the future. In the next 10 years, we're going to be fully woke. And I'm here to build awareness, like I was saying earlier, in tragic times like this, for you to know the agenda by the dark evil forces and make up your own conclusion from this origin. So Vibey, much love, Ari. So yeah, and chosen. The whole point of this video, this preach, is to bring awareness for people to actually know what may have happened, and for people to actually be aware and keep their eyes open for more things like this that are happening every day that we don't hear about much. Because a lot of the things are not as big, but they're big enough to cause some noise. And just know that, just be aware and keep your eyes open. And by being aware of these things, this foul place happening, and this evil like sabotagers and murders, and just for like a darker agenda. If we are aware of all these things happening, then our awareness will not allow them to do this, because they'll know that we will call their bullshit, and we'll put them on social media. We'll pretty much just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, we will definitely fight back. So therefore, that is the reason why, if we are aware, less bad things can happen, because they know that we are aware, and we as people, we're more stronger than the government that they are. And as much as they may have more powerful weapons, but as a voice, as consciousness, our consciousness, when we think of something that we want to accomplish, is more powerful than the guns and everything else, and we can actually change our humanity. We can actually evolve with ascension to a different density and live them in a different density, the one that we are living in the now. That's about it, guys. I just wanted to just put out there my condolences to Kobe and his family. For me, he will forever be in my heart, in my mind, because I don't believe, even though we are on Earth realm and our skin, our vessels are what we can physically see, But to me, he's still here on earth, and he's still all in us because we're part of him. He's one consciousness. So I never feel like he passed. And I'm going to miss seeing him doing his thing, his journey, and just being on TV. And I'm definitely gonna miss seeing him less on TV, on media, on whatever he does. His amazing, beautiful, like philanthropy and every other thing that he does. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss just having him in our timeline. But then again, all of us are going to pass one day, and when we do, we will still see him and we will reunite, because he's just an amazing soul and angel, and we all should just be happy that he's probably in a better place, because when we pass and we are as great of a person as he was, we go to heaven and we go back to the source, the creator. So just think that he is back with the creator, and he is just watching us kind of mourn and just kind of show our love to him. And knowing that, just be happy that he's not feeling any pain. He's happy. He's in a better place with his beautiful daughter and other amazing people like himself. And they're all just watching us and just waiting for us to just go and meet them one day and just hug and just love with love and light. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for the watch. Thanks for the love. This went like 22 minutes almost. Kobe, you always be my brother, and we will forever miss you and love you like you were a brother to us all. And that's it. Much love, peace, and namaste. Thank you, Kobe. Love you, brother. Rest in peace.